I living the American dream? I got two eyes, try to see the way the world turned, what happened to me. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is the place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the American dream? I keep searching for that dream of me, hoping someday that I will see myself in American dream.
How y'all doing, baby? It's Sunday, baby. Hey, at least we're starting out the show when God knows what freaking day it is, at least. Yes, it is. It is Sunday. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting, and I'm so glad y'all are here. Anyway, Irene Lambert, my darling, was the first one to jump in, and by the way, I love your hair. The curls, anyway. Cobra Jet Cat, Baby Babs 67 is here. Thank you very much. Debbie Capran, Pauline Hall, our own, yeah, Pauline. Hi, Lois. Dan Hack is here. Roger Himmelwright, Linda Carlston, Kelly 1313, Jeanette Miller. Damn, everybody. Carl Vogel's here. Jeanette Miller is here again. Our own Miss Chick is in the room. Thank you, baby. Y'all don't know how much Miss Chick and Bernadette have contributed to this show, and I can't say that. Anyway, Mom to Two Huskies is in the room. Buddy Griffin is here. Robin Arnold, James Tripp, Demetrius Cephas, outstanding. David Ritchie's in the house. Brenda Blue Skies. Anyway, let me jump on down here, baby, because we got a show to do, baby, and this time I'm on time, and hopefully got my shit together. Anyway, it's the Memorial Day weekend, and I hope you enjoy that weekend immensely. The holiday tomorrow, take time off, and but I really want to emphasize what this holiday is about. You know, I saw a meme not too long ago. I think it was on Irene Lambert's Facebook page, and it kind of summed it up pretty good. And it said, Armed Forces Day is we celebrate those that are wearing the uniform. Veterans Day is we celebrate those who hung their uniform up. And Memorial Day, we celebrate those who never took it off. I think it kind of summed it up pretty well. You know, boy, howdy shit, this runs a whole lot easier in your head before the show, and you got an idea what you're going to say and all that shit. Kind of goes out the window. You know, I saw Donnie Boy get off the plane or something. Anyway, reporters are out there and asking him all a bunch of shit, and he's out there bragging about all the talks he's having about with Iran and Hamas. We're trying to stop the killing. We're trying to stop the killing. And he repeated that to him. We got a lot his normal bullshit. You know, everything's going peachy keen, and everybody's begging him to make a deal. It's all a bunch of bullshit. President Zelensky, you know, Ukraine was hit last night with a record number of drone and missile strikes on Kyiv, civilian population, by Russia. Zelensky gave a speech where he said the silence of America and others is encouraging Putin. You know, my general thought is thinking about the men and women who have sacrificed the ultimate, given the supreme sacrifice for this country and others around the world from the time of the beginning. You know, it's a lot of people. And it saddens my heart that we have a president in our office that will turn his back on that. while he talks about talks with Iran and talks with Hamas and we want to stop the killing in Gaza. Yeah, he wants to make it a paradise over there for him. But America's silence in Ukraine is deafening. We have a coward for a president who, at the time when he was asked to serve, didn't find it in his heart to stand up and do anything. Shit, what am I trying to say? The silence of America is deafening. In Ukraine, where we're supposed to stand up for democracy and freedom and all that shit that we've taught all our life. And we have a president who just understands money. Money and centralized power. He wants that. He wants the all being. Anyway. What else? The big bullshit bill is in the Senate now. And we're going to see what happens to it. Lord help us all if that shit gets passed. And what the Republicans plan on doing about that. I'm kind of... Anyway. Mr. Chick. How are you, darling? How are you?
I'm okay. Kind of taking, taking it slow.
Good. Good.
Trying to eke every minute out of my relaxation this weekend that I can. And that includes not looking at a whole lot of the horrors, but, the horrors are there. They're not going away.
They're not going away.
No. Horrors, I mean, Gaza and Ukraine and Sudan and everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
The horrors.
Throw a dart, baby. Throw a dart.
I was prepared to talk about many things tonight, so I don't know which one do you want to... Well, there's one I'm going to save till the end because I haven't even been able to read it to myself without choking up, so I'm going to wait till the end to read that one about Memorial Day.
Okay.
But I did have something about the big ugly bill.
The big
we want to
bullshit
go to
bill?
Politics. Yeah, the bullshit bill.
Bullshit bill.
I have to. It'll take me just a second to poke it up because I have so many things that I have.
You're multitasking.
Okay, here we are.
You're a multitasker. Hey, before you start that,
always.
let me throw out a big thank you to Lincoln, who came in with $5 and said, after the uninstall, I'm coming to Texas with the white masking tape for your shirt. Outstanding. Thank you, Lincoln.
What?
Yeah, we're trying to. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, the big ugly bill. This one kind of breaks it down and makes it easy to understand, but it actually talks about specific pages in this big ugly bill.
Oh, specific items?
If you want to be patient with me, it's going to take a few minutes to read this because it goes over quite a bit of stuff. But it's all those. Remember, I keep talking about those hidden gems or those secret passages.
Buried. Oh, they're buried all up in this. It's like a Rubik's cube.
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
They buried it on page 602 of a 1,116-page bill. You weren't supposed to notice. But tucked deep in the one big, beautiful bill is a time bomb. A clause that would gut the courts, strip them of their teeth, silence them in the face of executive defiance. Here's the hustle. If a federal court tells this administration to stop violating people's rights, and they refuse, normally the court can hold them in contempt, fine them, jail them, force compliance. But this bill says they can't unless the accuser puts up a cash bond first. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You want to stop this administration's policies? Better bring your checkbook. And in civil cases, like 99% of the ones Trump's facing, nobody posts bonds. That's not how justice works.
No.
So let's say a small immigrant rights organization tries to stop the deportation of 100 people. Government lawyers claim it'll cost them $50,000 a day to delay removals.
Money.
The judge could demand a $250,000 bond or more as security. And if the organization can't pay that, they get the injunction, but it's meaningless. Because under this bill, no bond equals no enforcement. This is justice for the wealthy only. And here's the kicker. The bill also limits how courts can issue injunctions and temporary restraining orders in the first place. It shifts power away from the judiciary, making it harder for judges to pause or block government action at all. So not only would the courts be powerless to enforce their orders, they'd be less able to issue them in the first place. So what does that mean? It means the court can scream, "Stop!" and the administration can whisper back, "Make me." And the law can't do a damn thing about it. It's not just unconstitutional, it's un-American. And they're selling it to Republicans by declaring, "We can't save America unless we sneak in the power he needs." The pattern of clandestine and nefarious shit continues. If so many Americans want this, as they claim, why do they keep operating in the shadows and hiding their true intent? But wait, that's just one landmine. This bill ain't a budget. It's a Trojan horse. And it's stuffed with poison pills for the American people. Page 291. A 10-year moratorium on state regulation of AI. That means if your state passes a law to protect you from algorithmic discrimination, facial recognition abuse, or predictive policy, too bad. This bill says states can't enforce it. It opens the door to unregulated AI surveillance on your kids, your job apps, your medical data, every second and every search you make online, your damn every move. Pages 425 to 443, massive cuts to Medicaid and SNAP, more work requirements, higher costs for low-income families, more hoops, less help. Millions could lose food assistance and health care, while billionaires get huge tax breaks. Pages 487 to 502, education gut job, ends subsidized loans for undergrads, strips the Department of Ed from cracking down on predatory schools. Under Obama, the DOE had a rule that said, if a school receives federal student aid, Pell Grants, loans, etc., they must show that their grads can get decent paying jobs or lose access to that money. That rule helped shut down diploma mills and shady for-profit schools like Corinthian and ITT Tech, which exploited students, especially low-income, black, brown, and veteran students, while collecting billions in federal aid. What this bill does? It blocks or removes the Secretary of Education's authority to enforce gainful employment rules, pull funding from scam schools, or create new regulations that hold schools accountable for outcomes. In plain language, it lets corrupt schools get fat off federal student aid while giving students nothing in return. And if you know, you know. This ain't policy, it's personal. Remember his university? But it does even further and makes Pell Grants harder to get. Unless you're in trade school serving corporate labor needs, they are trying to devour the middle class, creating a two-tiered social system of the very wealthy and the very poor. It's much easier to control folks who are financially desperate. Pages 552 to 589, $70 billion for border militarization, $46.5 billion for more walls, $5 billion for CBP facilities, that's infrastructure for mass processing, concentration camps, tent cities, expanding detention centers, surveillance and confinement, $4.1 billion for hiring more agents. This ain't about safety, it's about fear. This ain't about keeping immigrants out, it's about potentially holding Americans prisoner. It's a surveillance state on steroids at the border and beyond. You know that vacation you were planning, that honeymoon to Paris? How does Vegas sound, or Niagara Falls? Because you can't cross the border. Welcome to The Handmaid's Tale 2025. And then we circle back to page 602, where they try to silence the courts, where they tie the hands of the last institution willing to challenge this administration's power, where they say, unless a bond was paid in advance, the court can't do a damn thing to stop injustice. And at the same time, they're rewriting the rules that govern when injunctions and temporary restraining orders can even be issued. This is a full-scale dismantling of judicial oversight. So let me say it louder for the people in the back. This bill is not about the budget. It's not about prosperity. It's an attack on every system that protects you from unchecked power. It's a legislative extortion disguised as patriotism. 1,000 pages of policy dressed like democracy, but moving like a coup. What can you do? Call Congress today. 202-224-3121. Flood their lines, melt the switchboard, blow the damn whistle. Tell them to strip the contempt and injunction TRO clause. Stop the AI surveillance trap. Save Medicaid, SNAP, Pell Grants, and the courts. And if there was ever a time to spread a message like wildfire, this is it. Share it, repost it, text it to your group chats, because if this bill passes, it won't just rewrite policy, it will rewrite the power structure of this entire country. Also, we fight like hell to save democracy, but we also make a plan. We will not scatter like ants. Make a plan.
Mr. Chick,
Did you get all that, John?
Who was the author of that?
Well, I asked my friend, because my friend on Facebook posted that, and she said she's not sure. She couldn't find who the actual author was, so I don't know.
Excellent writing. Excellent.
Yeah.
Writing.
It broke it down nicely.
Yes, it did. Laid it all out, too. Yeah.
Yep.
Mind by mind by mind.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how come I just put that up there. That is the phone. You can go to usa.gov/elected-officials, and you can get the address, phone number to everyone on your list, from the president all the way down to your local congressman, your mayor. Everybody is on that list. You can get their phone number. You can get their address. Call and write. It's our voice. That's what democracy is all about. It doesn't work unless we use our voice. Yes, laying it out like that.
And they want us to be afraid to use our voice. They want us to be afraid.
Yes,
they're trying to scare us from that, too.
Indeed, that's exactly what he's doing with all his bullshit. And I don't think it's going to turn out. This isn't. Either we use our voice now or we lose our voice, because that's exactly what he wants. He wants centralized power. He wants the power in his hands. Would be no different given time to be exactly like North Korea, where we all have a picture of the glorious leader in our house and we all clap like shit when he walks out.
Yeah.
It's his. It is his lust for power, his lust for money, for fame, and all you have to do is look at his whole freaking life and know it's just a big facade.
I know.
Yeah, it gets to be a bunch. When you look at it, I don't know. For me, for a lot of other veterans and those that served, it plays into a lot of shit, a lot of your shit.
And the making a plan. I mean, the first part of the plan is to make more and more Blue Dots aware of what's actually going on, and then asking them to take that action to make those phone calls to flood that switchboard, and let them know that we see what you're doing.
Yeah.
We can see it. You're not pulling any wool over our eyes. We see you.
We know what you're
doing. And then
protest.
Protest every chance you get.
Every chance you get. Look, find out where you. I got to slow down. You can find out by calling your local Democratic headquarters first thing. That's the easiest thing to do. And find out what's going on in your town, your county, your district. And get it, and just, like I say, be vocal. Vocal as shit. Because that's the only thing that's going to work. We can't turn to violence, baby. That's what he wants. That plays right into his little power game. And there's plenty of people to back his ass, because he's trying to gut anybody that isn't loyal to him.
I also have a link to share here for people to go to check on things. And I'll warn you that this one, because it's so vast, that it doesn't include the June stuff yet. This only goes up to May 30th. But it gives you an idea of where to go. Keep the link in mind. WeThePeopleDissent.net. And she does a wonderful job of listing all of the different protests that are going to happen across the U.S.
WeThePeopleDissent.net. Check that out. Check that out. Anywhere you could find the information you need. We're not trying to steer you to one place or another. We're trying to give you options and information. And yeah. Anyway, how you doing, Fatty?
Doing good, buddy. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
That's what they say.
Hopefully.
You know,
why,
I mean,
why put grease on it? You're just fine, sailing
it's only
right
been a
along
few
until the
decades
bearing
since we
burns
kind of
out.
stood up for ourselves. Maybe it's time we start doing it now. I don't know.
Seems like an appropriate time, doesn't it? This, you know, especially after listening to what Miss Chick just read and what is in that
There's
bill.
so many gems in that bill. I mean, first of all, it's unconstitutional, but we got to remember, these guys don't care about the Constitution. They
There
don't
you
care
go.
what any judge has to say.
There you go. And
This
he's
is
already
Schedule F.
demonstrated that.
Yeah, no, this is Schedule F of Project 2025. It's right out of the mandate. You know, it was in the playbook. They told us what they were going to do.
Yeah, we have a bad habit of not listening. Until
We're just
shit hits the
rationalizing
fan.
and justifying and pretending shit isn't real and not showing up to the polls and not
Well,
joining
we're
the-
real good at sitting in our one little pinpoint on the map, just looking at our own stuff. You know, that's
Right.
kind of how we work.
For
And, you
a
know,
lot of us.
local is where it's at. We had a real good local turnout here last Tuesday for a couple of county deals and our librarian position. And, you know, 45% is pretty good turnout up here where I'm at. And we're usually
Yeah, it
about,
is.
you know, which is an extra 15, but
Especially in an off
some of
election.
those 15 went to the Red Hats
Right.
that are all transplants from out of state that moved up here. But I digress. There's something to be in the squeaky wheel. I've called my senators and my congressmen, my governor especially, so many times. They're
Yeah,
kind
my
of sick of me.
congressman knows
And that's
my
a good
name.
thing. You know, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to be on that list. Now,
No, I'm mighty
Part
proud that
about
my
it, but-
congressman knows who the fuck I am.
man, Bill, you're not kidding about the nanny state and the surveillance state and the way that a fascist has to run their empire is to control the media and make sure there's no dissent and that nobody can talk bad about dear leader.
And that's obvious anytime you hear one of his staff or his, any of them, his cabinet, any of them.
Making a strong statement, a very strong,
It's
beautiful
extremely strong. He's a strong man, and he's the bravest man ever, and he's the wisest man ever, and God help us all if we don't listen to Don. You know, they really lay it on so thick. I hope that it comes back and bites them on the ass, every one of them. Every one of them. But they're committed to this shit because if they don't, their careers are down the tubes. If he goes, they all go. They're all
That's it,
wrapped up
yeah.
in this shit. So they have a skin in this game, baby. It's their ass.
If we don't get some serious shit going at the midterms, you know, this could be.
The midterms, it's gonna tell the tale. Either we
Yeah.
come through, or I fear for this democracy. Because if this isn't enough to get your ass out and vote, and then I don't know what is. Right when I was talking, I had a thought in my head that,
Squirrel.
and it was somebody was talking about listening on the radio about the percentage of people that vote.
Yeah.
And it's not good numbers. It's not good.
It's not good at all. We basically have 1/3 of the country deciding everything for us, and on a local level, we're lucky to have 25-30% up here.
We're all willing to bitch about it. We're all willing to
Yeah.
bitch about it, you know. But it takes more than bitching. It takes action. And we're only talking about one day. Just one day.
I can't be so sold that everything is so fucked that it's not worth still fighting for. And that's the disparaging, the divide and conquer, the negativity that's pushed by these fascist movements that prey on the fear, that prey on the division, and you know, they, them, and the others.
And
that's what it's all
is
about.
exactly what Trump does. He wants you afraid. He wants you to, you know, the whole immigrant thing. My God, you know, I'm 72 years old. I fucking lived down here in South Texas most of my life. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, but it's sold that way. It like everything else. You have to sell the fear to sell the product.
That's it.
You know.
They don't want to tell you the truth. I mean, all this fentanyl that's coming across in these ocean barges aren't coming across through the desert and floating their way up, through Kansas all the way up to the Great Lakes.
Nope.
We look
They're
at
not throwing
the
bales
stats,
of pot over the wall.
No.
No.
And we got states now that are revoking the states' rights that have been voted in by the electorate. Revoking THC, revoking CBD,
Oh, they're doing that big here
marijuana.
in Texas. Oh, yeah. No THC at all.
good
None
luck.
of that CBD, none of that. It's all got THC in it. It's the devil's weed, and we're going to put you in jail if you got it. That's what Texas just did. Yep.
Yeah.
Alcohol? Shit, buddy, you can drive through, get you a drink. Boy, go howdy down the road. Yeah. That's when we talk about that. Anytime that's brought up, I throw that out there. Because I've been a pot smoker damn near all my life. I smoked my first joint in 1969 and basically haven't quit yet. And don't plan on it. But in my younger years, then alcohol was a serious problem. And there's more people die in this country related to alcohol than any other.
Absolutely, but we don't want to. We don't want to fix the problem, right? We just want to exacerbate the effects.
We need that fear.
So
that pot, that's gonna get you. He's gonna smoke that joint, and then the next thing you know, all over the road. Shit.
Dude. I say the war on drugs is probably the second biggest psyop that's ever been pulled on.
It's been a hell of a ride for the federal government. It really has. Because they sold it every
the prisons packed.
You bet. It's making money.
We got to build more prisons.
Making money.
Yeah. The freest country in the world, and we lock up more of our citizens by percentage than any other per capita.
Any other country, that's right, baby. Anybody else, we got a deal
petty,
going on.
nonviolent crimes. For idealistic God crimes.
Yeah, I swear, I've had conversations with people that's almost like I'm waiting for that hammer to fall. Hey, let me call out a few people. Lincoln came in with $5 and said, in a big fuck you to Tom Holman, I hired 4 Puerto Rican immigrants yesterday that just finished restoring my deck on the house. Their work was phenomenal. That's what you get. That's why they come here, to work.
Mm-hmm.
And do good work, take pride
and do excellent work. Next time you go to the grocery store, think about that. CCAC 47 Mopar Benny came in with $5 and said, Trump's bill just more grifting on the American way of life. He needs to know what it's like to be poor and live in poverty and a shit whooping. Yeah, out of your mouth, but that's never going to happen. He never had that life. He never had to worry about a damn thing. Anyway, Chuckster 255 came in with $10 and said, hi, y'all. Oh, shit. I can't stay here today. I'm not at home, so I'm using my phone, but my battery's almost dead. Just wanted to say fuck Trump and the MAGA mules he rode in on. Outstanding, Chuckster. Thank you, buddy. And Jeanette Dahl came in with 50 Danish krones and said, if that bill is voted through, the United States will go bankrupt before this year is out.
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot is on the line here. And CCAC came back with CCAC 47 Mopar. Benny came back with another $5 and said, put Trump in the same cell as John Coffey from the Green Mile, and then let's see if he changes his mind and let Dumpty feel the jolt in the chair.
I'd like to see him in a cell with Diddy and who's the other guy that's in there right now? Either way.
Either what?
Man.
I can think of several movies I'd like to see him in.
Yeah.
And jails.
What's that one where I'm pissing on that guy's grave?
What's that?
The what one?
Oh, it hasn't been made yet. Oh, that's right. We got to make that one. Here, coming pretty soon.
Okay.
If I'm still around, I did get my 37th Twitter account blocked here this morning again. So.
No shit, congratulations. 37. Outstanding, man.
He was coming up. So Grok
we're all pretty fucking happy about you. Shit.
Well, yeah. They don't like it when I ask Grok inside personnel questions, and he starts divulging like secret things and how they're suppressing all the left-wing media and amplifying the right-wing and getting rid of all the liberal hashtags.
I left that site a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I try to fight from the inside. It's just so freaking toxic on some of these places. But Grok is actually, honestly, it's one of the better AI generators for the language models, at least for finding sources, right? You don't want to use these things to give you answers. You want to ask them to provide sources and maybe give you an outline of several different sources that can be considered maybe independent or not biased, which all information is biased.
Speaking of Grok, if you get a chance, go over and check out Tennessee Brando's post today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did he do
Yeah.
a good one?
He did. It was pretty funny. It was about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her argument with Grok.
Oh God! Let's not stay on.
He's a great guy. I'll tell you what. For those that follow and listen to Tennessee Brando, you made a damn good choice. He is exactly who you see. He's a laid back country boy. That when I went to go meet him, drove up top of a mountain, had some good time with him. We ate and all that shit. And he's a good guy, and he's got his heart in the right place.
Like
and that's
every
what
other American that had that Christian upbringing.
Yes.
And the uncles and the dads and the cousins that were all, right wingers, because that's just what everybody does.
Yeah.
And you just start seeing through the bullshit, and you put common sense where it's supposed to be, and none of this shit makes sense, especially from this neo-Christian fascist movement. This nationalism is just toxic as fuck.
Because the product they're sold, what they're sold under the title of patriotism, has nothing to do with patriotism. They're being sold an image, a flag, an eagle flying by, a song. It's a stand up for America and pump you up real loud. Feed the poor. No, fuck you. I'm busy saving America here. They bypass the ideals, the dreams of this country, and what it is supposed to be, of the people, for the people, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I did a good one on the AI the other day. I'll have to post it for you. It's the Statue of Liberty. You know how when we were kids, we'd grab toilet paper and go throw it up in the neighbor's trees?
Well, sure. It's what you did.
Well, it took me about 20, 30 tries to get the AI to put toilet paper around the Statue of Liberty, but it's about how it feels right now. It's like we got this arrogant little asshole who's never been a part of the system, who's never been to a grocery store. Okay, telling us about grocery prices. Of all the ironic misnomers in all of political history ever, okay, we have a guy in office who's never been to a grocery store.
Doesn't know what the word groceries is.
About groceries.
It's pitiful. And yet he is convinced, average Americans out there trying to make a living, that he sympathizes with them. He knows their plight. No, he doesn't. He's picking your pocket just like he's picking everybody else's pocket. And hopefully, a lot of them are going to start realizing that. And I don't know.
Well, when you pull people's heartstrings, that's the easiest way to control them. It's through the emotion.
It is.
And all of this, everything that they do, is appeal to emotion.
Yep.
Right? It's all about a feeling. Right? It's not about the facts and the numbers. It's not about the resolution.
Doesn't matter. You're selling an idea. Yeah.
It's idea. It's all ideas. It's all feelings, and they're the ones saying, get out of your feelings. How come you're all up in your feelings?
It's a $2.71 today, I think I paid. Hey, let's let Leo in. Leo, how you doing?
No, we're being rude.
Yes. I happen to be here.
What's up, mister?
I'm doing good. Hey, yay dictatorship. We seem to be in one.
Woo-hoo.
Go pricks.
Yeah. About ready to make me puke, but Mishichek, we got to find out who wrote that piece you read.
I'm trying.
That was an outstanding piece.
I am known for my research. I am known for digging deep, and I ain't shit compared to that person. So, Christ, I need them to write for me.
I have a hunch it's from an author off a Substack, but I haven't figured out who it was
Well,
yet.
if you find it, please do forward it on because,
I've
man, I'd
often
like to
said,
know.
and it is the absolute truth, and my career reflects it, I am a much better writer than I am a speaker.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
had to
whoever
write
that
some
person
shit.
was, man, they nailed it.
Yep.
Yes, they
Uh,
did. Point
Made it
by
nice and
point.
clear.
By the way, in all of that, one of the things that didn't come up, and John, I need you to think about this
What? What?
because I have to. One of the things they want to do is track VPNs.
Yep.
They're trying to push that shit. That's how far they want to go.
Yep.
No, I think this goes back to the
Big,
Trump coin.
Big
because
Brother
it's
on
all about
steroids, baby.
without
You know?
the VPN, the crypto market wouldn't exist, right? And Trump
That's
wants to
true.
take over the crypto market now. So this is part of the deal: is he's got to block everybody else's ability to move within that system.
Well, the reasons why are obvious, but unfortunately, what comes along with that is people that do stand up and speak are now susceptible. We already are. We're already targets. Most of anybody that knows who we are and where we are, we're targets. But now we have the federal government making us targets. And that needs to concern everybody.
Straight up.
Anyway, I want to go on from all that, though, John. And that is, first of all, this is to everybody.
Okay.
I love you all, and I want you to have a good time this weekend and tomorrow with that day off. However, there ain't no such a goddamn thing as a happy Memorial Day. You got to remember what it is, why it is, and who it is. And I think a lot of people here at this fucking MAGA tailgate party have totally lost track of that. And they need to be reminded. So, John, talking about using your voice, yeah, that's one of the ones. Hey, wait a minute. That's all good. Go ahead. Have your picnic. Go out to the lake. Do whatever you're doing.
Sure.
But remember that we're talking about people that died in combat so that you have this extra day off. There ain't no happy Memorial Day. Anyway, going on. We were talking about the bullshit bill. There's a big thing that, well, there are two great big ones. One of them is it totally destroys the triumvirate of government. Completely. It makes it so the courts now are answerable to the executive. But it goes beyond that in that it kills your right to vote if whoever in power in the executive branch says, no, you shouldn't be voting. Yeah, this is the shit that we're not paying attention to. And circling back to the whole Memorial Day and our veterans and how badly they're being treated right now. One of the things that asshole did, he just addressed the West Point graduates.
Yes, he did.
And stated clearly that under Biden, that enlistment was so far down, there was nobody actually becoming a part of the team as far as enlistment, except for, guys, think about that for a moment. Who was the president 4 years ago?
Yep.
That's who he was talking to. That's what he was saying. This man has gone right off the deep fucking end.
He's loony.
No, Monica, they not all in combat, baby. I was answering a question in the chat.
Well, not all of them. I understand that.
They're
but
plenty, we lost
great
plenty.
many of them.
A great many. That's
And
my
they
thought
need to
at the
be-
beginning of the show was exactly that you know we honor this day for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and for those who have progressed democracy to where we are today. And it's been a long battle, and the number of lives is immeasurable. And that's the part that we need to remember.
That there is nothing more important than that.
I can't.
All right, John,
Can't go.
I'm going to bow out quick. My
Some
wife just brought me
subjects,
dinner.
Yeah.
And to all of you, just remember where we are and stand up. You got to. There is nothing else to do right now but stand up, be heard, say no, make those calls, go to your Democratic meetings.
We can be no less courageous in our efforts now as those who died on beaches, who gave up their lives in Vietnam. We can't.
Well, we sure as shit can't let it go. That's for sure.
No.
Anyway, I love all y'all. I got to get to my dinner, or I'm disrespecting my wife.
Dinner.
Let somebody else in.
All right. Leo, thank you very much for coming in, brother. We appreciate your voice.
Bye, Leo.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
All right. Take care of yourself. That's Leo.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
We got Blue Dot Hank down there. We haven't heard from Hank in a while.
Oh, look at that. Well, let's drag Hank up here. Oh, yes, I do. I see that. I'm sorry. I haven't been paying it. Hank.
Europe has entered the building.
Europe is in the house, baby. Europe is in the house. How in the hell have you been?
Show some respect, people.
How are your tariffs going?
Oh, yeah, the tariffs are going fine. They're going up all the time, baby, or going down, or maybe sideways. It depends on what day it is.
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, it changes daily,
how have you all been? Well, fighting, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good. Because I read this bill, the beautiful bill, and the part in which basically is said that the Supreme Court cannot attack or bar Trump and his cronies from doing stuff, even though they ban it, is rather dictatorial.
Rather.
You are heading for
is.
a very... Yeah, this is a coup. I mean, it's years ago.
Yeah, we're at a fork of the road, baby. We're at a crisis point here in the United States. And it's you know, we're gaining supporters on our side all the time, but not enough. And that's not the ones I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fanatics on his side. That's the people I worry about. You know, the people that have drank the Kool-Aid, believe everything the almighty glorious leader says, and it's just, you know, it's mind-boggling. Just today, listening to him as he getting on the plane, I don't know where he was, on the tarmac.
There actually are friends of mine, even friends in the European military, like Austria and other countries. They actually are fearing the civil war.
Yeah,
and
why
we
would
all
that
hope
be?
it doesn't happen, but we think it might. Of course, it's difficult. But when we look at the states from our side, I mean, we see that the U.S. military blatantly disregards their own mantra and the Constitution. They ban books. They ban trans people from joining or working in the Air Force or in the military, basically.
In the military, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And now they have said, oh yeah, let's do a parade for his birthday. I mean, the Pentagon is going mad, I think. Will you be protected by your military when Trump wins everything? Probably
Depends
not.
on what side you're on.
Yeah.
And that's
Look
worrying.
at this. What you're hearing right now is the view from across the pond, baby. This is from outside looking in.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't want to come to the States anymore. Not even as tourists.
No,
We don't.
tourism is way down in this country.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to come here. Unless you're
worked hard
white
on it.
South African refugee seeking asylum from the
59. Yeah. Oh my God, genocide in South Africa. Bullshit.
Yeah, all the genocide
Bullshit
going
story.
on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
again, it's the
I mean,
bullshit story he sells to frighten people. Boo. You know.
yeah. Well, Europe is really getting pissed off at the moment. I mean, the European governments are getting pissed off. I mean, yeah, he is coming to the NATO summit in the Netherlands. Actually, we don't want him here, and most of the Dutch people don't want him there. But well, he was invited anyway, so he'll come. But
Nobody wants his ass to come. Really?
no, no,
Ain't there
no. But
nobody? No.
basically,
The headline over here. It's again. This I've got it up. What is that? MSNBC, I think, or CNN. What? Trump agrees to extend deadline for EU to negotiate a trade deal. He agrees to extend the deadline again.
we har- we, har- we hardly import anything. There was a meme in the Netherlands in which you see our former prime minister standing in front of one bowl of cheese, one tulip, and I don't know what the other thing was, but that was basically everything we export to America. So yeah, do we care? No, we don't.
No.
And we don't import anything from the States. Well, weapons. That's it.
Well, we're big on weapons. We're big on weapons. As a matter of fact, that's part of the big New Deal. He wants more tanks. More tanks. Really?
Yeah.
Tanks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what century we're living in, right? Anyway.
I mean, but what we see here is blatant fascism, basically. And that's the reason why not many of us want to go there. I mean, the story of the 2 German girls going to Hawaii, okay, they should have booked a hotel before, but they didn't. ICE took them and brought them back to Europe. Other people getting deported, even American citizens getting deported. No one is safe. And that's something that all of you
again
should really start working on. Yeah.
He created an atmosphere in this country that immigrants, no matter who they are or where they came from, unless they're white, are here to destroy America, rape your mom and daddy, do all sorts of evil things. And anything could be farther from the truth. Are there bad-minded people in any group? Oh, hell yes, there is. But that is not, and he plays on that. It's just like the fraud, waste, and abuse. Is there fraud, waste, and abuse? Yes. At the scale he's talking about? No. And it's being used to scare people and convince them that, oh, he's going to go do this because it's just going after the bad guys. No, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit.
There was this American friend of mine. He wrote on Facebook that some of his friends went as a tourist to Europe, and they were like shunned, basically. Many Europeans, even bars, they said, "Sorry, no Americans, please." I mean, it has gone that far now, which is sad, but understandable in a way.
I think all of Europe is concerned. All of the EU is concerned. Hell, NATO's concerned.
Yes. We are even more concerned about that than about the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, because it's going down the same road. Would America stand up for anything that happened in the northern states? God, I can't remember the names of the little states up there break off from Russia.
I mean, NATO has of course expanded very, very, very bigly.
Yeah, under Biden.
Under Biden, and
under
NATO
Biden.
now
NATO
has Finland
expanded.
and Sweden. So Finland, Sweden, Norway. Okay, the Baltic states, they are a little bit worried.
The Baltic
Polish
states,
are worried.
Yes, those are the ones.
But even if Russia would attack the Baltic states, I mean, NATO would win. We might not have the manpower, but we have the technology.
And you have the heart. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to rip out of America. He doesn't want us. He demands a complete sellout to Russia, and anybody that can't see that, not to Russia, to Putin. Again, the loyalty thing. He could give a shit about Russia. He wants to kiss Putin's ass because he wants he wants the power of Putin and the adulation of Kim Jong-un. That's what I've said for 8 years. That's what that man wants.
Did any of you read that article written by this former Bulgarian Secret Service guy that he wrote actually that Trump has been an asset since, well, at least for
87?
30 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I believe,
and he has.
I promise to God, I believe him.
Yes, I do too. I do too. Ever since when he first went over there with the Miss America pageant and all that shit. Yeah, and that's where the big story comes. Well, Putin has pictures of or photos, video of whatever him doing in the room or whatever. I don't know if any of that shit's true. Probably, because I'm sure every damn move the man made while he was in Russia was filmed or recorded or everything. But
Yeah.
I think Putin saw a useful tool in him then.
But he was groomed, basically. If
Yes.
that story is true, he was groomed to be an asset. I mean, maybe an unknowing asset, or he's so stupid that he became an asset without
A useful
even realizing
idiot
it.
up until the time that that Obama made fun of him at the Correspondence Dinner. Right up to that minute, and in that minute, Russia went ka-ching. They're going to cash in.
Yeah.
And that's
And
the
of
way
course,
I look at it.
he made a complete fool of himself last week at the what was it, West Point, the graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
He said bone spurs.
Oh, he went on about all sorts of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's we can hardly take. Well, we can take the U.S. serious, but we can't take him serious, nor his cronies, nor his billionaire.
That's what I think a lot of Americans are hoping for. That the Europeans and others around the world see that the heart of America isn't changed. It's just the leadership. It's an attempted coup, as been described, by an authoritarian wannabe dictator. And that's what the world is seeing. And we have to recognize it too. Anyway, on that note, let me catch up real quick because Laneige came in with $2 and it had vibes surrounded with little purple stars. Outstanding. It did not come up because I don't know why. And then, let me get that done. Lincoln came in with $10 and said, call all your active military friends and remind them to follow their oath and ignore unlawful orders. Let me say that line again. Follow their oath and ignore unlawful orders. Call your veteran friends and ask them to join our resistance. Indeed, baby. Thank you, Lincoln. Silly Bebo. Brittany came in with $5 and said the correct term is either being trafficked or kidnapped, not deported if you're a U.S. citizen. That's true. Yeah. And that's happening. Because he don't give a shit who it is. Just round somebody up and ship them out. If they sound foreign, well, they got to be. God, there is so much, and that's part of the problem, though, is we're overwhelmed with the attacks from every direction, on every level of our government, of our society, of business, of law. Pick up. Yes, he's trying to attack them all, on all fronts, baby, and that because he's hoping to break through a wall. We got to be that wall. We have to be that wall. Anyway, keeping with the international flair, we'll and then we'll bring in a little. Hello, Yelly Man, how you doing?
Hello, John. I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. I got something to say about the situation in Ukraine, since that is the topic of your show tonight, and the silence in America. It's that's just how I think it's going to be. And Trump came in and said he was going to end the war in one day.
Oh, day one.
And
day one. Yeah.
And now he's just saying that. Oh well, it's
not our war.
No, it's not our war. That's just something between
and
Ukraine
Russia. It's not our war. It's not our men dying.
Yeah. So he's not gonna help Ukraine with weapons or anything, and he's just gonna. He's probably gonna allow Russia to do whatever the fuck they want.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Bud.
That's why it's very important now for the EU to step up and do their bit, and for me and my countries in Europe to get the finger out of their ass and start helping out so that Ukraine can win this war. We need
it does.
to.
It pains me. Especially after this strike, 300 and some odd missiles and drones at a civilian population. He's trying to intimidate the shit out of them, and we're standing by. There's a lot we could do. We don't have to send troops back. We could send a whole lot more support, though. We could put a whole lot more sanctions on Russia's ass. We could stand up to him and all that shit. But no, it's not our war, so, we're just going to turn a blind eye.
Putin had a 2-hour-long chat with Trump a couple of weeks ago, and Putin probably told Trump to shut the fuck up and don't talk anymore about the war. Because, there's no doubt in my mind that Trump is a Russian asset. That he is completely.
Why is it that everybody can see that except this right-wing nut job society that has blossomed in America?
Yeah.
That's what and again, I remind people that this came all about. It's been changing. The right wing has been trying to take over this country for a long time. But it was at that correspondence dinner when Obama made fun of him. And like I said, Russia went ka-ching, we got to cash in. Ever since then, the bullshit that man has spread brought out the maggots from underneath their rocks, the racist, misogynistic bullshit boys out from under their rocks and it started puffing their chest up. And that grew into the Tea Party, which is now the maggot party.
And Sarah Palin was the first sort of example of that. That was on John McCain. He should never have picked Sarah Palin for his VP.
That was a bad mistake by John McCain.
Yeah.
Picking her as a running mate.
I think that's also something that people in the U.S. in general don't really realize is how close Ukraine is from us. It's like 1,300, 1,500 kilometers from the Netherlands. It's we have I have pupils from Ukraine in my classroom. I brought like a deactivated World War I rifle to class because we're on about World War I, and then we go to Weimar, then we go to World War II. But of course, the Ukrainian kids didn't want to touch it. Well, that's logical and very understandable. But we live with these people, and they are in our midst, and their stories are very close to our heart, because most of us have grandparents who actually were occupied by the Nazis, and now a war is going on again. And that's why Europe, basically, the government should do more. But the people in the Netherlands and other countries of Europe, except maybe for some of the Eastern European countries where they are a little bit more, I don't know, not racist, but more foreigner unfriendly.
They are racist. They are racist.
Yeah. The people in the West, at least, they have the heart and the minds for to do something about it.
Are you from the Netherlands?
Yeah.
I'm Norwegian, so we're not that far away from each other.
Yeah.
But you have the Secretary General of the NATO now, haven't you? He's from the Netherlands.
Yeah, our former Prime Minister. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that Stoltenberg was from Norway. He was the one before.
Yeah. Jens was from Norway.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Stoltenberg all the time, but I don't really like NATO as an organization. But I agree that it's still necessary to have it.
Stoltenberg did what he could to help Ukraine, at least. He did a lot of stuff too. So I think NATO, the European Union, has to step up now, and Stoltenberg is now the finance. It's now the Minister of Finance in Norway now, and we just donated $8 billion to the Ukraine. That came from Norway now.
Yeah, that's good. I think we gave about 20 F-16s to them. Not entirely sure, but they have been used already with great success, actually. The Dutch F-16s.
Yeah, we could be giving them a whole lot more. United States. Oh, we could be doing a whole lot more. This is a game he's playing, and it's going to cost lives, and it could cost the country. Anyway, hey, let me catch
Yeah.
up real quick because Kay Allen, my darling in D.C., came in with a $5 donation and said the big ugly bill is just another try by MAGA to rule America for the billionaires and no one else. We're not on that billionaire list, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kay. And let me see. Oh, look at there. Kay Allen came back again with another $5 and said they raised the debt to make cuts mandatory to Medicare and Social Security. Facts are clear. Indeed, they are. Lincoln came back with $5 and said Trump's private conversations with Putin are treason. He is emboldening Putin under the disguise of impeding peace. There is no peace, only treason. Out of your mouth, and that's the absolute truth. He is turning a blind eye and watching it happen. Richard Paddock came in with $5, and there was a pair dancing around doing a major dance. And John Cass came in with a $10 donation and said, I saw Mickey Johnson a couple of times selling his big ugly pan, and I keep thinking about that song. What song? What song, John? Oh, I saw him
that
too.
one.
I saw him too.
I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
All right, shake your hips, John. Come on.
Shut the fuck up.
Every time I see Mike Johnson, that's exactly what he is. The biggest ass kisser you ever had, but he's got the plan. Huh?
Well, that is something I would like to tell all the American listeners, is that Europe, even though we hate your governments, we hate the billionaires, we hate the MAGA crowd, we still know and love what America used to be, what the founders wanted. We appreciate that. We know that there are, from the 13 million Americans, there are at least over half of them, or even more than that, anti-MAGA, anti-fascist, right-wing bullshitters. Yeah. So it's just your elections. Yeah, your electoral system is fucked. Basically, it doesn't work.
I just spoke to somebody from Norway who met an American in an airport because that American was on holiday, and that American I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the United States for, I don't agree with Trump. She just said, no, it's not your fault. But she said, no, I want to apologize for America.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so a lot of Americans, when they go to Europe, they apologize.
I would. I'm sorry we got a dick for a president who's an asshole, who's trying to rob the country and kick everybody in the nuts. And walk out the door, him and his family, all nice, rich, and fat and happy. That's what we got. It's just
we don't hold this against you. We don't hold this against America.
No. Well, that's the hope that America has in our hearts. Yeah. Is that our allies, our friends, our neighbors, for all of these years, don't look at America as the bigoted assholes that he portrays us to be. That he is giving.
You got some of the best music in the world. You got some of the best movies. Elvis Presley is one of my favorite artists. And so yeah,
the Beatles. Big.
The Beatles.
It goes both ways. It goes both ways. America's part of the same. The one world that we live on, the one fucking planet that we live on, and believe me, anytime John's not in the news, I tend to watch something about. I watch a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson conversations and stuff about the universe, and gets my mind off the little planet that we live on.
You know that, John? I actually seen Paul McCartney live twice. So I had.
Really?
That was fantastic. That was amazing. He's
kiss my ass then.
If you have.
You know how many times I saw him? Huh? You know how many times I saw him? None.
Oh, if he comes to your town,
saw him on TV
because he's a great artist. Oh yeah, he's fantastic. I love him. I never seen Elvis though. I wish I could.
No doubt.
Let's
for real.
I
would love to see Elvis.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Marcia and I. We went to Graceland right after his passing.
Oh yeah.
We were there, and the wall was just covered with messages
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it was quite a yeah.
yeah, I think I was
No,
8
Peter,
when
they're
he
not
died.
American. That's what I was trying to emphasize. You know,
The
that
Beatles were from England.
from England.
Britain.
Yes, yeah,
We
well, I
said
know
that.
that,
We
but
said that.
uh,
We said that.
he was referencing an American band
Baby.
that gave
Yeah,
pleasure
Ah.
to the
and
world.
John just referencing a European
Yeah,
band.
a
So we
European
know
band
that.
that
Yeah.
did the same thing. Music is an international vibe.
Yeah.
Uh, so it speaks to our. It does. It speaks to us in a lot of ways. Depending, you know, we all have
Kissy Cat.
we all have a soundtrack in our head. The soundtrack of
Kissy
your
Cat.
life.
Kissy Cat wrote in the chat that her aunt saw Elvis at the Houston Astrodome.
Wow.
That's cool. My grandfather saw Elvis in New York in the 70s. He's played Madison Square Garden. So, yeah. I was so envious. I was so jealous at him. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I've never
Elvis is
been
my
to a
go-to
concert. Ain't that
cocktail
pitiful?
for sure.
Never been to a live concert.
Okay, let me read out something to all of you, and I will change some of the words to make it more suitable for our world. Okay, hang on. There will be times when the struggle seems impossible. I know this already. Alone, unsure, dwarfed by the scale of the enemy. Remember this. Freedom is a pure idea. It occurs spontaneously and without instruction. Random acts of insurrection are occurring constantly throughout the planet. There are whole armies, battalions that have no idea that they've already enlisted in the cause. Remember that the frontier of the rebellion is everywhere, and even the smallest act of insurrection pushes our lines forward. And then remember this. The American government's need for control is so desperate because it's so unnatural. Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks, it leaks, authority is brittle. Oppression is the mask of fear. Remember that. And know this. The day will come when all these skirmishes and battles, these moments of defiance, will have flooded the banks of the American government's authority, and then there will be one too many. One single thing will break the siege. Remember this. Try. Now, that was the manifest of Nemec from Andor. And I
That's very
changed, of
well
course,
said.
the empire to the American government. But that's also one of the
Very
good
well
things
said.
coming from America. The series, as well
Yeah.
as this manifesto. So, yeah. Keep the
Hank,
hope going.
Hank, were you the one who sent the bear to John?
No, I haven't never sent some things to John yet.
Because
No,
he got some Dutch bear once, and John was
I
so
did
drunk he
indeed.
couldn't move.
Oh, that was
I
another
did
guy.
indeed. I did indeed, and let me tell y'all's idea of beer and our idea of beer, that's two different things right there. That's two
You're not
totally
supposed to be
different
able to see
things
through
right
your
there.
beer. If you can see through your beer, it's not good beer.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
it's piss water.
Oh, this stuff, Uncle Fatty, this shit was stout, baby. Oh, but
Like
it
it.
tasted
It was
great.
potent.
It tasted
You got the
great.
good stuff.
It had a strong. This is years ago, but I remember it had a strong taste, and boy, did it have a kick.
It was actually Belgian beer, and of course we call it Dutch beer since Belgium used to be part of the Netherlands after 1815, after Napoleon got defeated for a few years until 1830 when they rebelled because we levied too many taxes, and now it's the Kingdom of Belgium, but it's still Dutch territory.
Boy, howdy.
And I'm
You
just
have
going
a
to put
break.
in there that John thinks any beer with a strong taste is stout. And no, John.
No.
Stout is
Well,
like black
No,
beer.
no, no,
It's
no.
literally
I'm not,
black.
yeah. I'm not using
So
the
you
word
just-
stout literally. I'm using it as that's stout as in
An
strong.
adjective.
Yes,
Well, when
an
you're a beer
adjective.
drinker, you
Yeah.
hear stout,
Yeah,
you
it-
have a visual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Don't-
You're right.
You should
pick
try
my-
some real ale. Try some British real ale, like Hobgoblin or Spitfire.
You know,
Real ale from England.
I hope
He's
Randy's
not a beer
listening because
drinker.
Randy's fixing to head to London, and then he's going to Denmark, and
Ooh.
yeah, he's making
Nice.
he's going to make a trip. Hell, he's got it, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
Our Randy? Really?
our Randy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Denmark,
Oh,
yeah.
Denmark, they got Carlsberg. Isn't that Danish beer?
Carlsberg?
That's a pretty good one.
Well,
yeah.
you know, we
Carlsberg.
got beer down here in Texas. We got beer,
Yeah.
don't we, Jorge? Don't we have
Lone
beer?
Star.
You
Pittsburgh.
darn tootin' we do.
We do have beer down here.
You know, John, it come dragging in here late, but there's something that I heard somebody talk about, and it just hit in my head. You know,
Okay.
22 days from now, you know what happens 22 days from now?
Are we having a big parade? Is that
No.
today? No. What?
It's June 16th.
Oh yeah.
That will be the 10th anniversary of that asshole coming down the escalator.
Oh,
Now,
Oh,
I want
that day.
you all to think about this, okay? Now, people who are starting grad school next year
You're right, Sean.
would have been 12 years old when that happened. And the only American government they've seen is this bullshit with Trump involved in it. They never saw it when it was running normally, okay?
well, you had
And these
Biden
are
for
people
4 years.
they're going to grad school now.
You had Biden for 4 years.
Well, but Trump was still there, you know?
Yeah, he was.
I understand
And
what you
making-
mean in that respect.
You-
We had
Trump
Biden
was-
for 4 years, but Trump was the one that was in the news
Trump
every
was still
freaking
just
day.
all over everything. So
Everything.
now these kids are kids. They're 22 years old and they're starting grad school. Okay? Now, this is the only government in their remembrance that ever was, okay? Now, this is what they think politics looks like. What
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of people are
Oh.
going to be attracted
I see what you.
to do this, okay?
You know what?
If they think
Jorge? You know what, Jorge? I think the kids that grows up today, they are going to be so disgusted by what they see that in the future they are going to do better. That's how I feel about it. They're going to make sure
or
that-
maybe it's just going to attract the disgusting people.
yeah.
You know,
It
No.
attracts plenty of those
it's hard to,
that are there
it's
to
hard
take advantage of it.
hard to say.
We call
man.
them Republicans.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but the point is, this is all they've ever seen. Okay,
Yeah, but
starting
it will-
grad
it will
school,
be
all
better. It
they've
will
ever
be
seen
better.
is this bullshit.
But Jorge, how is that fucking stupid book of Jack Tapper doing now? Does anybody know that? That
Oh,
silly
Jack
book that he
Taper's
wrote about.
book about Biden.
Yeah, I heard he's
Yeah.
not
That
doing
guy.
that well.
Yeah.
Did he
Fucking-
advertise every 30 minutes on television?
news.
No.
On
Yeah,
Fox
on
News,
CNN,
yeah.
like it's a news story. Well, we're going to report now from Jake Tapper. Jake, how's your
Yeah.
book doing? Well, it's a great book about how Biden sucked, and he does this, all that. Well, you
Hasta
sell
la
many? Oh, I'm
vista,
trying.
CNN.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we got. That's what we got. Use.
Did you see that
But-
the presidential debate when Biden was debating Trump and Jake Tapper allowed Trump to lie all the way through that debate with no fact checking. Remember that?
no fact checking. Yeah.
There was no fact checking.
No, he
And,
sat there, blatantly lied his ass off, and threw bullshit at the screen.
Yeah, and Jake just sat
they
there
allowed it.
with that stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now back to you, Miss. Yeah, yeah. We could go look hindsight and where we screwed up, and where we did right, all day long. Right now, we need to concentrate on the future of this country, or we're not going to have a future in this country, as been plainly
And I
discussed
don't
here
think-
tonight.
And I don't think Biden had dementia at all. I think that's bullshit. I never seen anything. I mean, he has a stutter. Yes, he has a stutter, but he doesn't have.
He's always had a
dementia.
stutter. He always
Yeah.
had a stutter. He got more accomplished under his presidency than
Yeah.
shit. I want to say more than any other president. I believe that's true. I believe that is
He
true.
is the most
Say is
progressive.
he could ride a bicycle, and I'd like to see Trump's ass on a fucking bicycle.
You ain't gonna see that, brother. For one, the bicycle seat would just disappear under that big fat ass of his.
It
Yeah,
would be fun to
yeah.
watch, though, John.
Oh, but haven't you seen? I've seen him on flags with his muscles out there holding an AK. You know, just muscled up.
baby.
Yeah, that's the image of him. Not the slow guy that he is. Hey,
John, are you watching the chat here? They are talking about who is best of Elvis and the Beatles. It's very funny. We just started a new debate here.
Which
have
is
one
better,
without the other.
apples or oranges?
oranges, yeah.
Yeah, I love them
Gentlemen,
both. I
gentlemen.
love them both. I
the
love
world
both Elvis and the
is a
Beatles.
better place
Jelly
for
Man,
both of them.
I have
You
a
know,
question. You told us about Carlsberg and Danish beer, but how is
Yeah.
mead doing? Like the honey mead in Norway, is it still something you still
Honey
drink it?
meat?
oh, mead?
Yeah, mead, the honey wine that we
Yes,
have here in
I've
Europe
gotten
also.
that in the mail too.
Mead
Uh,
is so
I
delicious.
I never tasted honey wine. How was that, John? Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
really?
The mead that was sent to me, yes. Uh, These are my memory. I'm trying to remember where it came from. I want to say England. I want to say England.
We have meads around here.
No, it was from
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
overseas.
also have a lot of cider,
But you're not
hard
a drinker,
ciders.
Michi, are you? You don't drink, Mr. Sick.
Not anymore, no.
No. That's good.
I'm
We
not
got a
I
lot
haven't
of
partake upon a
DWIs
margarita every
around
once in a
here.
while.
I haven't had a
Beer.
drink for a year,
I don't drink like I used to. I'm very cautious.
No.
As a matter of fact, nowadays I drink my beer and bud on Friday, and then
Yeah.
I will throw in nowadays a margarita here and there.
I try
John
not to
has to be
drink
real
too much
careful with
because
margaritas though, because it's just
yeah,
lemonade. It's just freaking lemonade. You drink it
yeah,
down
it seems like
nothing.
lemonade. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I have the same problem. I try not to drink too much, but whenever I go to this left-wing squatting cafe and I drink a bit too much beer, then I always fall off my bike. So it's a bit useless. Yeah, but I try not to drink too much.
Hey, let me catch up real quick. I want to thank Kay Allen. I want to do this right. Kay Allen, who came back with $10. Kay, thank you very much, baby. Watch it though, and said for beer, try to find Skull Splitter, named after one of my ancestors. Skull Splitter beer from Viking 7th Earl of Orkney. Well, damn,
Ah,
Kay. I'm glad I got that written down so I can look that up later and find out
Sounds
what
like
That
a
that
sounds
is.
fun
sort of
guy.
ominous, though. Skull splitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy,
What
howdy
a fun
shit.
guy.
Put it right
the
there on the
Viking
label.
from Orkney. That's cool.
And then Lincoln came in with $2. Oh, shit. All right. Brain can't do two things at once. Lincoln came in with $2, said, person, woman, man, camera, TV, jail. And I bet every one of us, every freaking one of us could recite those what, 5 words? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Every one of us knows that in our heads. Yeah. Outstanding, Lincoln. I appreciate it, buddy.
Wife.
And Uncle
But he had a
Fatty.
jail.
Yeah, I like the ad part, the jail part. Person, woman, man, camera, TV, jail. Oh, it's a big, beautiful jail.
talking about-
promise us one thing, John. If Trump ever loses the presidency and does not become a dictator, will you please send him to the International Criminal Court in The
Oh,
Hague
Lord.
to stand trial?
You
Thank
couldn't
you.
do
Like
fast
that.
enough in my book. Hey, let me thank LB, who came in with a $1.15, I think, and said, and thank you, LB. Thank you very much. I appreciate the shit out of that. And Uncle Fatty came in with, what else? $4.20. That's right. $4.20 and said, such a tease. Play that song one more time, John.
I just need you to shut
One more
the
time.
That's
fuck
for
up,
you,
'cause
buddy.
nobody asked you, bitch. I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Put a smile on that face and give that shit away.
Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
Every time I hear that song, I think about dancing, and I think about dancing with my wife. My wife,
Makes
when we
me
were on the
happy.
dance floor,
Yeah.
that was our stuff, the swing.
Cutting a rug, huh?
Yes, yeah. It's pretty good. She accused me of almost trying to bash her head in because I'd let her head get almost to the floor, but it never hit.
Real close, huh?
Real close, baby. But she'd come right back
Deep
up every
dip.
time. Yep, she'd look at me
I
like, "You do that again."
remember you once telling me how you danced on that song in 1945.
We,
So-
John is not that fucking old, man. I mean,
I
he's
know.
not that old.
oh no, the 40s
Yeah.
is well, my dad, you the music. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah.
Every one of us
Yeah.
has that soundtrack of your mind, of
My
your whole
mama
life, and that
listened to
includes
that,
from the
yeah.
time you was little and what music your mom and daddy was listening to, because that shit's in your
Exactly.
head.
Barry
Yeah.
Como in my case.
But didn't your father buy you Beatle boots when you were kids?
Yes, yes, we were
Oh,
living in
that's so
San
cool.
Diego, California. That was a milestone in my life
You-
in the way of, my dad, because the Beatles were big. We like a lot of families, Navy family, you buy your school clothes, everybody gets a new pair of shoes, and we were all wanting Beatle boots, me and my two brothers, and yeah.
But not every parent approved of the Beatles because they thought they were just like
Oh,
the long hair and stuff.
sure,
But
sure. Devil's
was
music.
that "I
It was
Want to Hold Your Hand"?
same
Was
way with
that the
Elvis.
first
Devil's
hit
music.
they? Oh yeah,
I
but
told my
I
dad
Want to Hold Your Hand. Was that the first hit they had in America? That
it's
"I
one of
Want
the
to
early
Hold Your
ones. Yeah.
Hand."
I think so. I think so.
I think "Yesterday" is one of my favorite. That's my favorite Beatles song. "Yesterday" and "Hey Jude."
And it depends on whether or
Well,
not
then you're a
talking about the
McCartney freak.
Beatles or
I've seen Paul McCartney. I love Paul McCartney. He's
Paul
fantastic.
McCartney's great. No, what I was
Yeah.
thinking about when they changed their name sort of to from the Beatles to
Wings?
Wings.
no,
That was cool.
that was Paul McCartney's band,
Yeah.
Wings.
Right?
Yeah.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band.
Wilburys was a good band.
Oh, that was just for one album.
That
though.
was just one
Oh,
album.
Traveling
That was one
Wilburys. That
album.
was George Harrison. That was George Harrison.
Yeah,
That was
yes.
Harrison
And
and
Bob
Harrison
Dylan,
and
yeah.
Jeff
See?
Lynne. Yeah.
Yeah, all of
Tom
us,
Petty.
yeah.
I saw
Can anybody remember where they were
I
with John
wanna
Lennon?
hold
was
your
shot?
hand.
Because, yeah,
Yeah, I can.
I wanna hold
John
your
Lennon.
hand.
I remember when they told me when John Lennon was shot, people didn't have to go to school in Norway because everybody was mourning. That was like the worst day.
That was a tragic day for America.
I left work and went
Yeah.
home, and when I found out,
It's
Yeah.
like a lot of big events, The day Kennedy
That
got
asshole is
shot,
still
a
in
lot of
prison.
us
The one who did it. He's still in
good.
prison.
Let him rot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a coward bastard to do something like that,
Well, no, he's psychotic. He had psychological
he had
problems. There's no
mental
doubt he had
issues.
issues, but that ain't the way the system works here.
No.
If there was some help for people like that, I'd say get him some help. But there ain't, so you gotta lock him up.
Well,
Yep.
perfect
And
Imagine
it's
world.
not
if
gonna
probably,
be as long as fucking MAGA's in charge.
Oh.
Oh,
Imagine
no,
is
Don's-
probably one of the most beloved songs that has ever been written, and that was John Lennon.
Yeah, that was a solo project.
Yeah.
That was not Beatles.
No.
my favorite song, and it's anybody that knows me, my favorite song out of
Maybe.
all the songs, out of everything, is "It's a Wonderful Life." Not "It's a Wonderful Life." Damn it!
Fat Satchmo.
Yeah, I was
Louis
gonna say.
Armstrong.
Trees of Green. Louis Armstrong.
Louis
what,
Armstrong.
what a wonderful world.
Yeah.
What a wonderful
Yeah,
world.
what a wonderful world.
Louis
Oh, yeah,
Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong. What a
Satchmo.
Wonderful World. Yep. That's.
Have you heard
that's
of that Sacha
anytime
Baron
that
Cohen?
song comes on, I turn up the radio, and I dream.
Have you heard of Sacha Baron Cohen, that comedian
Yes.
who asked? He did. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, we know him.
He's doing hidden cameras, and he asked, what was the guy who was second to the moon? What was his guy? The guy name who was
Neil Armstrong and
Aldrin?
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, he was interviewing Buzz Aldrin, and he asked Buzz Aldrin, wasn't it a drag to be second on the moon after Louis Armstrong?
That's funny.
All right. Well, as I see somebody in the chat just reminded, it's almost Ojeda time. So evidently, his show is fixing to start. Go give him a listen. I try to promote anybody that uses their voice. I don't really care.
You like Richard?
It's not a competition in any form, sense of the way around here. I encourage you to find voices. When mine goes off the air, go listen to another one. Just keep yourself motivated and remind yourself every day of why we're in this fight and why we have to be in it. Why we need
Like,
to be in it.
share, and subscribe,
Yeah, you can
baby.
do that shit too. That's right down there in them little buttons down there. And
buy a couple of
I
T-shirts.
saw a
Buy a
couple
couple of T-shirts.
Well, I have seen a couple of comments in the chat about the commercials. That is my son's attempt to help try to pay the bills. And
Hey, revenue counts.
Oh, I
man.
mean,
It keeps you on the air.
there's
So I
nothing wrong with
apologize.
commercials.
I apologize.
There's nothing
Pat.
wrong with
I
commercials.
don't like them.
No, there's
He
nothing wrong
knows
with
it.
commercials.
He knows it.
However, this is funny. Today, I saw this video by Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders is talking about how American politics is bought and sold, how all these millionaires put money in Trump's campaign, how everybody pays for everything. And then this beautiful part that he's telling, like he means it, yeah, of course he means it, but then that video ends with, this video was paid for by friends of Bernie Sanders. And the irony itself, I mean, it was
It's
brilliant.
got to be paid by somebody.
Gotta
was
be paid
so
by
There's
somebody.
a price for everything here. This is
Hey.
America, baby.
Before we
Yeah.
run out the door, I got one more call out here. Kay Allen came back with another $2 just to let me know to add in Texas Paul. Indeed, Texas Paul, Tennessee Brando, Midas Touch Network. Find those voices. Find those voices.
Midas Touch Network.
Hold
Do you
it.
still
Yeah, Midas
have?
Touch
Do
is
you,
good. It's very good, actually.
Let
Yeah.
that-
John, do you have Brando's phone number? Maybe you should reach out to him and ask him
I do. I
if
do.
you. Yeah, maybe you should just do another collab
You
with
know,
him.
if I was able to get back out on the road, he'd be one of the first places I'd go.
You could do like a
Besides
split
that, he
screen
lives right
thing.
down the road from my brother. I'm serious.
Oh, really?
I left my brother's house. I was at Tennessee Brando's house within 20 minutes. Beautiful ride,
Wow.
too, in the mountains. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I got a beautiful place. It's just lovely. His parents are just great. Yeah. I had a great visit with him. I can't say enough nice things about him. I really can't. Let me see. And Peter, whoa, boy, howdy. Peter came in with a $50 donation. Peter, thank you very much. A character riding a firework rocket disappearing away before bursting in the sky. That's what it was, Peter. Thank you very much. And Alan Roberts came in with $2 Canadian, baby. Thank you very much. It's a fucking international community, this Blue Dot family is. Hal Sparks, indeed. There is a list, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
alone.
look for those voices that you can rely on, because they're giving you a message and telling you the truth, and we all need to be rallying around the flag, baby. If there ever was a time to do it, it's now. And yeah. Anyway, I
You know,
guess
the
we
best
better.
place to find all those verses in one spot.
We're not alone, man.
No, we're not.
No, you're
Where's
We
that?
are the silent majority.
What's that, Hank? Patty?
Hit that subscribe button,
Oh,
ring that bell, and get on to the Blue Dot Patreon. Get yourself into the Discord page. That's where all this information is.
indeed,
And the more we share this shit, the better.
indeed. At that Discord page,
Get
y'all ought
yourself
to
a
join it.
T-shirt.
There's a lot of.
John has got.
I appreciate
John
it.
is
I
selling
really
cool
do.
T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I think they are. I think they're pretty cool. Anyway,
BlueDotInTexas.com. Yes, sir.
I
Send
appreciate
cat
all the
food.
support y'all are giving. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying our best, baby. And but regardless
Yeah.
of what happens, we'll be here. I'll be here every damn Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and trying to get my rants out has been difficult here lately because there's a lot of shit going on. And
Well, we appreciate it.
You did a blooper. You put out
Yeah.
a blooper one.
What about
That was
now
not-
that blooper roll was actually was on our Patreon page for a couple of weeks now. I know, maybe 3 weeks, maybe longer. My son is working on another one. It will first premiere on our Patreon page. So our Patreon, see, people start yelling at me in the thing that don't forget to hit the credits. And I do. Sometimes I forget to hit the credits.
They're fed up with us. They want us to get the fuck out of here, John.
Yeah, yeah. Hurry up. Let's go. Come on, credits. Let's go. Got your. Anyway, whatever I was talking about. I want to thank
You were
everybody
talking
for coming.
about. You were talking about. Oh, I forgot too. You're not the only one with squirrel moments here. Could you remember what he was talking about, Mr. Tech?
No, I was looking at the chat.
Yep.
Something
I've
about a
turned
squirrel.
my head since then. Yes. Well, shit, you're at that point in life where you turn your head and boy, there went that thought right out of your head, or you read something out the
I know what he
side.
was talking about. He was talking about the Patreon bloopers, which, gosh, John,
Oh.
Tuesdays are hard.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, Tuesdays are difficult, aren't they? I noticed that too. There were several of them. Well, it's Tuesday.
All of them were Tuesdays.
Maybe he'll do a Wednesday. Well, I don't know how he does that. He's got no shortage of material to draw from. But yes, he's working. He's about to put up another bloopers reel on Patreon.
I remember
we try
back
to give
in
our
the day,
Patreon
John,
members
when,
something. They've been loyal for years, and I appreciate every one of them. And there's more irons in the fire for Patreon. So Travis.
I remember back in the days, you would put out a video and said, "Take 5." I've been because you've been ranting 5 times
I
into
think
the.
if you look closely, you'll see them. Some of them start out with take 7.
Yeah.
Because I don't edit. I don't. A lot of people, other people edit their videos. I don't. I turn that camera on. Whatever comes out of my mouth until I turn that camera off is just what was in my head. And y'all don't know how many times I've turned that camera off, and immediately thought of 5 other things I was supposed to say or talk about. Yep, right out of the head. Because I'll get on, I'll say something, and then I'll just get into what's in my head in the moment. And but yeah, all of my videos are shot unedited. So if a cat jumps up in my lap or something, it's the way it is. So, but
you have no cats, John. I thought you had none cats. I mean,
I'm concerned right now. There's a couple of them missing, and I'm hoping they don't show back up with more kittens.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. John's got no shortage of cats around here. I got no mice, but I got lots of cats. Anyway, I guess we better wrap it up for the evening. Yelly Man, I appreciate you coming in, brother. Thank you
it's
for coming
always
in.
nice to talk to you, John. And,
I like the international flair
nice.
tonight we had.
Yeah, we have an international audience tonight, so that's cool.
We
have a good Sunday, and I'll see you later. Okay.
Indeed, Yelly Man. Take care of yourself, and again, thank you.
Take care of yourself too. Bye.
You bet.
Bye.
And Hank, I was so glad to see you down there, buddy. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I had some health shit, and I'm very busy at university, very busy with teaching school kids about World War II and fascism and stuff like that.
Keep teaching
so
them.
yeah,
They need to know.
I didn't really have time, I did have time, but I didn't really have the urge to come on. But tonight I thought, let's get on. And
well, we're glad you popped in, brother. Anytime you get that urge, follow through on it. Come in.
I will.
Thank
you very much.
All
me too. Love you too.
All right, bro. Take care.
Yeah,
and
you too.
Jorge.
Yes, sir.
Glad we got a little Texas sauce in there tonight.
Yeah, if I had a show, I think the theme song would be "I Have a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts." So,
Do you?
Well, no, I just love that song. It's just,
I've got a lovely
bunch of coconuts. There we are. Lovely bunch of coconuts in a row.
Oh, outstanding.
good old
brother,
days of
outstanding.
colonialism.
Some as big as your head.
Outstanding.
Love you guys, man.
Love you back,
Perfect,
Jorge.
man.
Give my best to Nan.
Will do, man. Y'all
All right,
have a
brother.
lovely evening.
You too. We'll talk to you later.
Hell yeah.
And Uncle Fatty.
Much love, guys. It's always good
Much
to get
love back
some
to you,
perspective
brother.
from across the pond, right? It's
Yeah. Oh, that was
what
nice.
the
I
world
enjoyed that.
actually thinks about it. Hell yeah.
How we're being viewed from the other side of the pond, baby.
All about perspective.
It is.
Send
Indeed.
me. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can see it, we need to
Be
see
good.
it.
Spread the love. Spread the smiles. Put on a smile. Give that shit away. All that stuff.
All that stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. All the
Oh, yeah.
buttons are right down there as we pointed out earlier. Anyway, Fatty, thank you for coming in and thank you for your input, brother. I
It's always
appreciate
good
the
to be
hell
with
out
you
of it.
guys.
Are you going to have a show
Always
tonight?
I don't know. I might go on here in a little bit. I got a little deep dive I've been doing again into the complexities of Mr. Stephen Miller.
Ah,
Oh
that
no,
guy.
Mr.
Oh,
Goebbels.
that guy.
Blah.
An easy
Yeah, I
target.
bet that's a trip into the sewer.
Dig a hole to China there. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to play poker with these guys. What are their tells? So I'm going over some body language stuff and trying to figure out what their physical body language tells are.
Right.
And man,
Oh.
Stephen Miller has got so many of them. It's hard to tell when he's even telling the truth. I don't think he does ever.
I don't think that's within his capacity to speak the truth. He's
So
like
I
Trump.
still am convinced. I'm convinced Stephen Miller is like genetically a clone of Joseph Goebbels. I mean, he looks like the guy,
Weird.
and
I'm
he
telling
talks
you,
like
if
the
you
guy.
go through the
Yeah.
all it's the references to the Hitler regime
Man.
are obvious all over this guy. I swear, and
Yeah.
who surrounds him. Republicans ought to take note of that. Anyway,
Mhm.
Fatty, take care of yourself, brother. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
much love, Blue Dots.
All right. And Missy Chick.
And John.
Oh, boy, howdy. That was a good show tonight.
Yeah, as promised, though, I do have
Oh,
what do you
a
got?
tribute here for Memorial Day. And I want to share that this is from Facebook, and it's from a page called One Hall of a Story. And it's a school teacher that shares stuff that goes on in his life as a school teacher. So,
Okay.
when Army Sergeant Matthew Blazkowski was 25 years old, he was awarded the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. He was shot in the leg in an Afghanistan firefight, where he pulled another wounded soldier to safety. 2 years later, on September 23rd, 2007, he was killed during Operation Enduring Freedom. While growing up, Matthew was known for working hard and always having many friends who wanted to be close to him. He was the kind of kid who treated others well and would stick up for other kids. If a kid needed help, you knew that Matthew would be there. He was the epitome of kindness. I personally never knew Matthew, but I know of his presence. You see, I never taught Matthew, but he was in my classroom. Prior to my arrival, Matthew walked daily through my classroom doors to learn 8th grade science. When he left my building, he went to the high school. Eventually, I ended up in the classroom where he learned all about the stars and the planets and how life comes full circle. Each year, I tell the story of Matthew Blazkowski to my 5th graders. They know that a hero has walked through the same doors they walk through each day. It is important for the kids to appreciate those who have given their lives for others. While they never met him, they do know him. They know of his kindness, love of his country, and what it takes to be a friend. And when we stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance, we always end it with, "Thank you, Matthew Blazkowski," as an important reminder for the freedoms he gave his life for.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. So, yes, as we roll into Memorial Day, remember what it's about.
Indeed.
And honor those that even if you didn't know them, honor the Matthew Blazkowskis out there.
Because there's
They will
millions of
not
them.
grow old as we will grow old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they gave
They
the
live on
ultimate
as long as they
sacrifice.
live on in our memories and in our hearts and in our history.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
And don't worry, Europe remembers the sacrifice of the American GIs
indeed.
also.
Indeed.
So
Yeah,
this
it can be
alliance,
found- it
even
can
though
be
it's now
found
in the
in-
fridge, it will hold.
You know, I did on that note. I saw a story in I can't remember where it was. It was it was on CNN, I think, about graves in Italy, U.S.
Hmm.
graveyards in Italy, where they were replacing a Christian cross with a Jewish symbol cross,
Yeah.
to signify the Jewish faith. And part of the story was
Very
because back during World War II, fighting the Germans on a lot of Jewish soldiers' dog tags, it would say
Yeah.
Catholic, because of the fear
Yeah.
of what would happen to them if captured by the Germans, and you're a Jewish person.
Yeah, true.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't go good. And so they
Well-
were buried under a Christian cross. And through this
Mm.
organization that has been researching and finding them to give them their proper burial. And I think that's
Oh,
very
that's good.
honorable.
Yeah.
honorable thing to do.
Well, we are preparing for Memorial Day also in the Netherlands. We've got one of the biggest American war graves in Europe. Margraten, it's called. Margraten. It's in the south. It's between the Netherlands and Belgium, in the province I grew up in, Limburg. And it's one of the biggest in Europe, biggest American war cemeteries that we have.
We celebrate those that gave the ultimate sacrifice in this country, but we have to remember that this honor goes around the world. It's those that give their life in the last full measure for their beliefs, for their
yeah. It's
Yeah.
heavy. It's heavy stuff. I mean,
It is.
That's what I always told my American veteran friends, even in Vietnam and Afghanistan, that although I didn't agree with the wars that were fought, I never held it against them. They were soldiers. They had to go.
They had to. They were soldiers.
No matter what you think about Vietnam
chances
or
are they were
Afghanistan.
fighting for the guy next to them, not some grand ideal.
They were called up to
Exactly.
do what their country asked them to do. And
Yes, and they did it to the best
And we
of their
can be
abilities.
no less dedicated, but now your country's asking you to step up and save it, not with a weapon in your hand, but with a ballot, with a vote, with a voice. That's where the need is
With the
now.
protest.
with a protest sign, with anything.
With a
yeah.
protest sign, indeed. Anyway, I guess we better wrap it up.
Yep.
You got anything else, Miss Chick?
I do have a couple of names to share that well, they
Names. You said.
didn't
Who are
actually
these
share this
names?
shit, John. They
Oh.
liked this shit. And that's, that's just as good. They liked some shit
I like
that we
it when
did.
they like this shit.
So we had
This is
Crystal
good
B
shit.
from Washington State
This
who
is
liked
good
this shit. Linda G from Illinois. Sal J from Pennsylvania. Cookie E from Iowa. Chris M from Texas, but originally from South Africa. And Paul C from Connecticut. All liked this shit.
They like
You can
this
like
shit.
us too. Yeah.
You can like us. Everybody
Yeah.
could like us. And tell other people they could like us too. Yeah,
We're
that's
real
the way that
likable.
works. Yeah, we're likable people. Look at
Yeah.
that. I'm
And
telling
we
you.
got some shit.
And that, yeah, we got shit. So this is good shit. Anyway, we thank all of those people for sharing, for subscribing, those that joined our Patreon page. I appreciate you all. So, look at there, Randy Peterson, go hog. Anyway, take care of yourself, buddy. I'm glad to see you in there. Yeah, it's oh, there went my mind. See, all of a sudden, because I've seen Randy's name and see Randy's over there living the life I'm thinking about. I
Yeah,
should be living.
going on cruises and shit.
Going on cruises.
Yeah.
I see pictures of him laying on the beach all the time now. Shit.
I know.
Damn. He
Doesn't
leaves
invite
now.
us,
I
though,
can
does he?
drive over his damn house in about less than an hour, about 45, well, about an hour. Might be at his house. Might do that. Might do that, Randy. So watch it, buddy. I might show up over there. Anyway, we want to thank everybody who liked this shit, shared this shit, or just watched this shit tonight. We appreciate you all. We're all in this big family, and we're all fighting for the same cause, baby, to save this country. So be a part of it. Make the history that this country needs. Anyway.
Yeah. Be the history.
Be the history, baby. Anyway, we'll be back here again Tuesday night for another Blue Dot Family meeting. Until then, the most important thing you can do in your life, besides fight for like hell for your country, is put a smile on your face every day and give that shit away. It's the best thing you can do for yourself and for somebody else. Anyway, take care of yourself. I love you. Y'all say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.